Imagine working for a company with approximately 635 employees. 29 have been accused of spouse abuse, 7 have been arrested for fraud, 9 have been accused of writing bad checks, 17 have directly or indirectly bankrupted at least 2 businesses, 3 have done time for assault, 71 cannot get a credit card due to bad credit, 14 have been arrested on drug-related charges, 8 have been arrested for shoplifting, 21 have currently defendants in lawsuits, 84 have been arrested for drink driving in the last year, and collectively, this year alone, they have cost the taxpayer £92,993,748 in expenses, nearly £93 million. Welcome, my friends, to the House of Commons. Have an interesting week ahead. Be careful who you vote for. Man is the most insane species. He worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature, unaware that the nature he is destroying is this God he is worshipping. C-U-N-T, you are. Off you must. F. Non-violent protesters do not deserve to be shot. Rubber bullets are considered a safe deterrent. What do you think? Me and Granny. You'll probably get that at the end as well. Guess who couldn't give a flying F about a royal baby? Former undercover officers say Police Scotland will have corrupt officers. A former undercover policeman has claimed Police Scotland will have a corruption problem as a result of being infiltrated by organised crime gangs, warning TV show Line of Duty is not far-fetched. Neil Woods, who is part of the Law Enforcement Action Partnership, LEAP, acronyms, said corruption has occurred in England and guaranteed it will also be happening in Police Scotland. But don't forget, all chief inspectors are Freemasons, so of course corruption will be in every police force in every part of the UK. He said most police officers are incorruptible. But a minority can be influenced, and believes the issue is endemic and cannot be defended against unless drugs policy is reformed to legalise all drugs and remove the drug market from the scene. Links to everything's in the description, including this one. Heath knew he was committing treason. This classified government document dated April 1971 remained secret until it was released under the 30-year rule. It proves Heath's government knew the 1972 EEC treaty would lead to the loss of sovereignty and was therefore treason. They had a stunning, accurate picture of the EU, which never was the EEC, an economic community, expecting Britain to be abolished after the turn of the century. The authors, all civil servants or ministers, are very pro-EU. Their intent is clearly to conceal the loss of sovereignty, but they understood perfectly it would be abolished. In public, Heath's government all lied. The treaty would not affect our sovereignty. This includes Douglas Hurd, still an active senior Conservative, who is also both a liar and a traitor. A point we put to him at the Conservative conference in Blackpool. He assured us his connection in the legal profession would ensure he was never convicted. In other words, and protected. Here are just a few of the damning sentences. Parliament controlled. 11. Membership of the CAP countries will involve us in extensive limitations upon our freedom of action. For the first time, Parliament is binding its successors. Increasingly loss of sovereignty. The loss of external sovereignty will, however, increase as the community develops according to the intention of the preamble of the Treaty of Rome, to establish the foundations of an even closer union among the European peoples. Small threat sovereignty like Burgess, Blunt and Maclean's selling secrets to the Russians attracted 30-year jail sentences. The penalty for actually losing even small parts of it until 98 was to hang by the neck until dead. King Charles I was executed for treason that he was by comparison relatively minor. Lord Haw, Germany calling William Joyce, was hanged for treason on the 3rd of January 1946. His efforts on behalf of Germany were tiny by comparison with Edward Heath. Are law subservient? The rest of the document's in the description if you want to read the whole document, but it proves that Edward Heath knew he was committing full-on high treason and sedition when he signed us into the dictatorship known as the European Union. Pope signs pact with Muslims pushing one world religion. Pope Francis has recently signed a pact with Muslims in a possible push toward a one world religion and declared that diversity of religion is God will, but won't. Wait, doesn't that Bible warn Christians about unifying with those of other worship the other gods and have contradicted beliefs? It's basically the New World Order religion being rolled out in your face here. And because they're pushing ahead, they have no choice to carry on, push this one world government dictatorship, because they know that many have become aware of it now, that they've got nothing to lose. They've got to keep pushing forward until we take these bastards down. And that's what we're going to do. US sends aircraft carrier and bomber task force to warn Iran. And someone posted a reply to this when it was posted on Facebook, and they said, wouldn't it be easier just to send an email? Well, of course it would, but this could also be part of a preparedness for an invasion of Iran. The US has deployed an entire aircraft carrier to the Middle East to send a clear and unmistakable message to Iran. National Security Advisor John Bolton, another traitor, said the administration was acting in response to a number of troubling and escalatory indications and warnings. The deployment of the warship was based on claims of a possible attack on US forces stations in the region. Unnamed US officials are quoted as saying, in other words, we've just made this shit up, and we're going to say, oh, it's unnamed US officials have said it. Because they are gearing up to attack Iran. And that could be the final straw that breaks the camel's back, because there will be retaliation. This is Trump pushing for World War III now. Full-on World War III is what he's pushing for. We can stop it whenever we want to, but we've got to stop it. MP's expenses. Bill Cash claimed £15,000 to pay his daughter's rent. Bill Cash, a senior Conservative MP, claimed more than £15,000 in taxpayer-funded expenses to pay his daughter's rent for her London flat, even though he owned a home closer to Westminster. Mr Cash designated a West London flat owned by his daughter Letitia as his second home for parliamentary expenses during 2004 and 5. During the period he was renting the flat, Mr Cash owned a flat in Pimlico, a short walk from Parliament. He said on Thursday that he was not living in the Pimlico property nor renting it out at the time. It was not clear why he did not live in the flat. Although he was designated it as his second home since 2005, his main home is a country house in Shropshire. Shortly after the MP stopped claiming money for his daughter's flat, Miss Cash, 35, who is hoping to become a Conservative scumbag herself and is on David Cameron's A-list of preferred scumbags, sold the property for a $48,000 profit. She had owned the apartment for less than a year and for more than 12 months of that period, her father had paid for her $1,200 a month in rent from taxpayer funds. They are all thieving, robbing bastards, every single one of them. If we can't claim it, they shouldn't be allowed to. Mirror. It's a boy. Who gives a shit? And this is in every paper. I'm so incredibly proud of my wife. She can finally unstrap that bump from her. This little thing is absolutely to die for. Express. It's a boy. Harry's incredibly proud of Meghan gives birth to 7-pound 3-ounce son, even though it was just a bum bag she was wearing. This little thing is absolutely to die for, says beaming new dad. Yep. Telegraph. This little thing is absolutely to die for. Same headline, every paper, same picture or variant of it, every paper. I'm just over the moon. Yeah, if only you were. After a few hours of private blissful joy, Prince Harry was as boyish in his enthusiasm as he shared his happiness. Hiring Hawaii threat to intelligence sharing. Okay. 9 more victims of serial rape suspect. Trump's tariff threat jeopardizes trade talks. Metro. Boy, I'm happy. Oh, piss off. Mail. This little thing is absolutely to die for. Same headline, every paper. That's how you know it's bullshit. Harry's delight after a £10 3-hour boy arrival. See, because it was grown in a test tube or wherever else it was grown, or maybe in a surrogate, and now it's arrived because they brought it and handed it over to them. Hospital delivery dashes Meghan's home birth dream. Utter bullshit. The scum. Royal baby at daybreak, 5:26. Who gives a shit? Sunrise at like parasite. Every goddamn paper. I'm just over the moon. This little thing is absolutely to die for. Same headline, every single paper. That's how you know it's a scam. Tourists make fresh attempt to oust May. Planet in crisis. 1 million species at risk of extinction by the Zionists. Future generations will be risk of starvation as food and water shortages grip world with warns landmark UN report. So it's totally made up bullshit because it's the UN. Human behaviour, climate change, overdevelopment and intensive farming destroying nature's safety net. Bullshit. Hope that our 1800-page report will spur world leaders into action and start talking more about the fake climate change and the fake global warming, because it was originally called, but when it was blatantly obvious it's not getting warmer. In actual fact, it's got colder over the last 20 years by 0.2 degrees. So they had to change the name to climate change, because either way, whether it gets hotter or colder or stays the same, doesn't matter. It's your fault and we're going to charge you for it, because that's what sort of bunch of twats we are. I was hearing voices as clear as a bell in my head. Stars reveal mental health struggles. Social media doesn't affect teenage happiness. The super rich Corbyn proving their finances. The Guardian. Humanity facing urgent threat for loss of Earth's natural life. No, that's all the parasite Zionist scumbag who are chopping down the rainforest. That's why. Outrage over Farage conspiracy theories. That means that there's something going on that they're not telling you, and they want it to be a conspiracy theory. Overjoyed royals become babies. Yeah, crap again. The Times. Social media doesn't make teenagers unhappy. Huge study shows. Yes, it does. NHS shows abroad for thousands of nurses because they treat our indigenous nurses like shit and pay them less than they do the foreign ones. Health chiefs admit failing in plan for elderly care. It's a boy, yeah, I've had enough of that shit already. Waste of paper Star, but at least It's a Boy's not in it, and it's had to die for. This Star, of course. American actress has baby. And that's the headline because it's line of booty. Cop drama's star goes undercover. Chill out with Holly. Absolute waste of paper. Financial Times. Trump threatens to ramp up China tariffs, unnerves world markets. Ex-Goldman banker extradited to face US charges over 2.7 billion IMDb scandal. 4 seasons sends chill through privatised care. And I think what I'll do now we've come to the end of the news, and as usual, it's utter crap. It's all this baby bump, you know, this strap on that she had now, the baby's been delivered, you know, they collected it from wherever it was and brought it and delivered them. Yeah, so it's all bullshit, as per usual.